Alright, hello everybody, how you doing? Alright, I'm sitting up here watching this watching this gameplay of Watch Dogs. This game just came out this week, Watch Dogs, which is based in Chicago. And this scene that they're on he's on right now, they're having a basically with slavery, an auction. They're auctioning off women, having them slaves. So, and they're auctioning them off, for whatever the buyer wants to do with them. And I was thinking, it's like, I was thinking of different life perspectives and whatever your thoughts are, or how. Hold on, let me kind of break it down a little bit. It's like, what do you think about in life? Is it just only what concerns you, or have you ever had any other thoughts about different parts of the world, cultures, or and how they live life? Because everything is different than it is here in America. We have the American culture, and even within our own country, if you've seen, this really go back just to I was gonna say a couple years or a few years back when this huge debate about immigration. I mean, that's still a hot button issue, but it was making me think, because slavery, obviously, being black, going back into the history of it, it's like, yeah, you're definitely well aware and how horrible it is, but just we're in the year, there's something everybody says, well, it's 2014, you know what I'm saying? And I hear a lot of people say that when they reference that about, racism and whatnot, it's 2014. Yeah, it's 2014, but, it's a reason, racism and things like that are still, and prejudice are still so, prominent in the forefront. But getting back to what I was, to this point, it's like, it's very interesting that this game gives, you get a up close perspective on it through a video game. And I'm looking here, at this underground auction. Like you just saw the picture. They have all these women, where they're selling women here, kidnapped and whatnot, and it's like, they call it the sex trade. If you've ever heard it on your news, I don't know, maybe where you're at, if you have maybe you're not, maybe you're on the lower end of of one of the cities who trade, but here in Georgia, Atlanta, I think it is the #1 city, or it's definitely one of the top cities for the illegal sex trades. They kidnap young girls and selling them for sex, and forced prostitution. That's what's that's what's going on. That's what's happening now. But I just thought it was very interesting looking at this scene, and it's based off of actual real life. It's not just something they put into the game. And I wonder how many people will, play the game, um, and will realize that, or will it make them just pause and think like, man, if you've never had an opinion about it, if you see this for the very first time, how would you feel? What are your thoughts? So that's what's kind of intriguing to my mind right now. I wonder how people, what people's thoughts, or your thoughts will be, once, if you're not playing the game. Like I said, I'm not playing it. I don't. but I'm looking at the gameplay and basically seeing what the game is all about. And like I said, so far, yeah, I definitely like the game a lot, and it's something I definitely look. I would, besides I don't have a game system now, so can't play. But when things get up, it's definitely something I look for, forward to getting. But just thinking about that and just thinking about how, even though it's a video game, but this video game is based on real life. Um, it's like it's some real people actually in that game. I know I saw Aisha Tyler. She actually has a character in the game. At some point, if you see the game, you're gonna see Aisha Tyler. It's like when you're where's the scene that when you were looking when he's looking for he's trying to find a man and he uses the niece and he goes into the building and he pretends to be the hospital and then she's like she hasn't seen her uncle in years and she calls yeah. So she was somewhere around that. I did make a print screen about. I'm like, okay. So they it looks like they have and obviously these um I think these are like models who they took the pictures up for that and so it's a lot of realism in this game. From the crimes and everything and whatnot. But I just thought that was a very interesting thing. Just looking at it, it's like wow, because I mean I think about everything. It really wouldn't be too many or a great number of theories that I haven't already thought of myself or in the process of thinking. Now a lot of things. It might be something outlandish or you know you just the general consensus would be you would think somebody's crazy, but a lot of time where I believe there's a lot of truth in what seems outrageous or crazy. You just have to open your mind to believing it. But yeah, I mean it's thinking about it, like I say, man, it's actually pretty sad. I wouldn't want to be a slave. And I mean, and when you hear that, you think something, okay, back in the day, because say, well, something that our ancestors had to deal with, but in reality, it's still a prominent thing that's happening around the world in a lot of countries, even this country, well, especially this country. So it's like, wow, when you think of it like that, it's like, what is a famous saying is that those who do not know their history are doomed to repeat it, so, but this is something, it just continued to go on. You know, found another form or another form, another way of going about it. But is I don't know. I just kind of wanted to make this video. Was thinking about it. I was like, let me make a video about this, and just because the dynamics of it, like I say, is very, uh, it's man, it's a very intriguing dynamic, and it's very interesting. So, um, you know, you just kind of paralleling everything. Like I say, just real life here. You think about, whenever you see a missing person, like they still have in the news, um, the missing. I think it's missing kids.net, the national. So because it's been going on for decades, where children end up missing and they have like a before or maybe a younger picture, or and they may have sometimes they may have an age progressed picture. Like, have you seen this the date of birth, name, this, that, and sometimes it may be a last seen with. And I mean, it's pretty sad. And I think a lot of times what happened is that maybe nobody has ever, they never found out what happened. Or sometimes, yeah, the person may have been, may be deceased or may have been actively, kidnapped. And some of them still, So it's, I've had somebody kidnapped in my family before, and unfortunately, yes, she was executed. You know, um, I mean, the thing with that was she was over. It was her and her and her friend, and the thing about that was it was kind of interesting. Her friend, both of them were kidnapped, held in a house. You know, raped and whatnot, tortured, and then they were taken out to, you know, um, taken out to some place and executed. Her friend went first. And her friend was white, by the way. Um, and I want to say that is because this happened in the '90s, and I was no, this was before. Hmm. Maybe I was about 12, 13. I was a lot younger then, but I remember it like it was yesterday. It still, even to this day, hurts like it was just yesterday. But and basically what happened with that was like nothing at all. I mean, believe it or not. I mean, it, it is just one of those things where I think it was people just didn't say nothing. It was one of the people didn't talk, and evidence was scarce. So, but and some, it was a lot. It was a lot of foul shit that happened in that. But just know that some of them people they never did a day, never did any time. I mean, if but the person who actually now the trigger man he's in jail on another murder charge. So, but they never actually did get any kind of justice for their case. I mean, just it shows you how that goes. I mean, but yeah, and then after her friend was killed first, and she was killed, shot in the head. She was shot multiple times. From what they say that shot in the head, but she was still moving. So he just kept shooting her in the head until she stopped moving, and she had to have a veil over her face at the funeral. So yeah, and I remember seeing through the veil. It was just a whole thing. Like I said, even though it was so many years ago, and I was younger, and but yeah. So it's like I say. I remember. I remember being up, just wondering to myself, like, where is she at? You know, being younger, just though you just lay in the bed like you can't sleep, you just wonder yourself. It's like, well, Then it was just like one day, one night, I was laying in bed and something told me that she was gone, and I just knew it, and I think it was the next day that I found out. Yeah, my mama told me that he had found her body. And it was, if it wasn't the next day, I think it was a couple days later. So, but so it's like you seeing all this, people kidnapping people and whatnot, and slavery is like, I wouldn't want to be a slave, and so I'm definitely not gonna go and enslave anybody. It's like, if I don't want it to happen to me, I'm not gonna do it to somebody else. I mean, man, that's a horrible thing to happen to you. Um, One of the worst things that could ever happen to you is like, but I don't know. I just thought it, interesting, you know, so just want to get that out there, kind of get some thoughts, and see maybe if, anybody else has any thoughts about it. Um, well, that's it pretty much. Don't know what I name the title of this video, but I'll find something. Alright, everybody, you all have a, hope everybody had a good weekend and enjoy. Hope everybody has a good week going forward. Till next time, take care.